So welcome to a brand new webisode. It's Monday. I'm driving home. Just got done with the workout over at Evolution Fitness. You can join me, by the way. I'll be broadcasting my show live 6 to 10, and then James T. Harris will be doing his show live 10 to noon at Evolution, their grand reopening. Going to have some food there starting at 8 o'clock from R&R Barbecue, some breakfast burritos. It's going to be a really, really fun morning. You know, you talk about all the obesity problems and Pima County using tax dollars and a grant to the tune of $13 million to fight obesity. And, you know, this is how you fight obesity. You actually go and work out. You pay for it on your own. You don't spend other people's money. I want to talk a little bit about that in a second, but first off, it was funny. I was listening to another radio station and talk about shameless. I mean, I get it. I work in radio, but at the same time, I'm kind of scratching my head going, really? What am I talking about? Somebody's doing a cash promotion, and they talk about the 99%, and they rag on the 99%, calling them moochers, which they are, and smelly people, and yada, yada, yada. And then they say, you know, the 1% isn't that. Become part of the 1% and win our money. Like, really? Really? First off, it's not very much money to put you in the 1%. Secondly, the whole 99.1% percentage game, it's meaningless. It's absolutely meaningless. It's an excuse for a bunch of people to go and protest and squat. You know, who is to say, you know, what that 1% really is? And why does it have to be all about money? I mean, one person's idea of the kind of money it takes to be in the 1%, is somebody else's 99%, and vice versa. You know, what about the riches we have in life? You know, I don't make, by definition, whoever made up the definition, but I don't represent and don't make 1% money, but in my opinion, if we're talking about people who are full and rich in life, I am full and rich in life. I make a decent salary. I've got a beautiful wife and beautiful children. And I got a job and job security. I live a really full life, and I just laughed that this radio station was using it as a promotion. It's just like, you know, because it's just such a flawed, dangerous concept. It's class warfare. You know, I mean, look, I understand radio stations got to do what they got to do, and a lot of times these contests are across multiple radio stations, so they kind of are forced to have to do these giveaways. So they got to come up with something clever. I thought it was, to quote Spinal Tap, more stupid than clever. Anyways, back to what I was saying initially. It's fascinating to me the way that things cycle through and get momentum. It's like watching a sporting event, or a NASCAR team over a series of races, a football team during a game. Watch the momentum shift, and it's not anything that can be really even quantified. It's not even tangible. It just kind of happens sometimes. And the same thing happens in news cycles as well. You have issues that pop up, not necessarily because somebody brought them to the forefront, or because anything major was happening with it. It just suddenly we're in a cycle where this particular item pops up. And lately, I've been really happy to hear a lot more about Obamacare. For whatever reason, it just seems like people are talking about Obamacare again. And maybe it's because we're getting back close, or we're getting close to this election with a chance to do something about that. I know it's one of my biggest issues. It's just how horrible Obamacare is. This idea that the government would have any say in my decision-making process when it comes to medical coverage it should be foreign to everybody. It should be alien. It shouldn't happen. And I know that Obama says, oh, well, you get to keep your coverage. You won't. It's not going to be advantageous for employers to continue to offer you medical coverage that you already have when a majority of people are going to go on the government plan because they don't have to pay for it, right? The few of you who decide to pay for it on your own aren't going to have access to it anymore because it's not going to be affordable for the employers. This Obamacare that wasn't read before these individuals signed for it is a roadmap to single-payer, government-controlled healthcare. And I can't imagine being in a situation where the government has any say on what kind of treatment I'm going to get. And this is coming from somebody who, you know, has medical issues. Now, hopefully they're not ongoing. Hopefully with my heart, we've corrected the problem. I still have to be monitored for the medication that I take, but hopefully I shouldn't have any complications. But if I do, which isn't out of the question, it's a situation where the government might have a say in what, and it's just, I'm flabbergasted by that. The scary thing is we adapt, and we end up, after a while, accepting our fate. It's pathetic and sad to me that we have Social Security, that the government decides what percentage they're going to take out of my paycheck to put into some savings account, and then they get to determine when I get it. I mean, that's just wrong, in my opinion. And yet, we've sort of accepted it. It is what it is. Everybody does it. And I've used this example before on the air. Think about for a second if Social Security didn't exist and the government tried to implement it now. There's no way. There's just no way. 4 more years of Obama, and maybe there would have been a way, because so many people will be hurting that they'll be more ready to accept their fate in terms of more government intervention in their lives, which is all part of the plan. Let's just hope that, well, let's pray that Obama isn't reelected. So, all right, I'm going to stop talking. I got my voice back. My nose is plugged up again, though. This cold just won't seem to go away. Tuesday night at the Voyager is the sheriff's debate. I hope you make plans to come on out and join me. Doors open like at 5 o'clock. I'm moderating the event with the Pima County Sheriff candidates. And I hope to see you there. And then Friday at Evolution Fitness, 5252 Speedway. We'll be out just east of Craycroft, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on the south side of the street. So west of Craycroft, sorry. All right, I'm done talking and I'm almost home. Thanks for watching. Bye.